Today, imagine for a moment that you have a constant companion, one who follows you everywhere, commenting on everything you do. This voice evaluates your actions, your choices, and your worth. Now, what if I told you that this companion isn't someone else? It's you. It's your inner dialogue, the way you speak to yourself in your mind. The way you talk to yourself influences your thoughts, emotions, and actions, ultimately determining your success and happiness. Your inner dialogue is a constant presence, shaping your perception of yourself and the world around you. Every thought you entertain and every word you repeat in your mind becomes part of your belief system, influencing your decisions, behaviors, and overall mindset. If your inner voice is filled with encouragement and positivity, you are more likely to take risks, embrace challenges, and persevere through setbacks. Conversely, if your self-talk is dominated by doubt and negativity, you may find yourself stuck in fear, hesitation, and self-sabotage. Your thoughts create emotions, and emotions drive actions. When you repeatedly tell yourself that you are capable, competent, and worthy, your brain reinforces these messages, making them your default state of mind. This positive reinforcement boosts confidence and motivation, pushing you to take action toward your goals. On the other hand, negative self-talk creates emotional barriers such as anxiety, fear, and low self-esteem, which can paralyze you from making progress. The more you tell yourself you can't do something, the more you believe it, and the less likely you are to even try. Consider how inner dialogue affects performance. Athletes, for example, are trained to use positive self-talk to maintain focus and confidence. A runner who constantly tells themselves, "I am strong, I can push through," will perform better than one who thinks, "I'm exhausted, I can't keep up." The same principle applies in everyday life. Whether preparing for a job interview, starting a new business, or overcoming personal challenges, the way you speak to yourself directly impacts your ability to succeed. Your inner dialogue also plays a crucial role in shaping your resilience. Life is filled with setbacks and obstacles, but how you interpret them determines whether you rise or fall. If your self-talk in difficult moments is filled with self-criticism, "I always fail," "I'm not good enough," "I'll never get it right," you reinforce a victim mindset that keeps you stuck. However, if you train yourself to reframe challenges as learning experiences, "I'm growing from this, every setback is a step forward, I'll find a solution," you build mental toughness and adaptability. This shift in perspective helps you stay motivated even when things don't go as planned. The influence of inner dialogue extends beyond personal success to relationships and overall well-being. When you speak to yourself with kindness and self-respect, you naturally project confidence and positivity, attracting healthier relationships and better interactions with others. In contrast, self-doubt and negative self-talk can lead to insecurity, making it difficult to trust others or engage in meaningful connections. The way you treat yourself sets the tone for how you allow others to treat you. Changing your inner dialogue requires awareness and intentional effort. Many people don't even realize how harshly they speak to themselves because it has become an automatic habit. Paying attention to the words you use and actively replacing negative statements with empowering ones can create a dramatic shift in mindset. Instead of saying, "I'll never be good at this," try, "I am improving with every effort." Instead of, "I always mess things up," say, "I learn from my mistakes and grow stronger." These small changes may seem insignificant at first, but over time, they rewire your brain for a more positive and proactive mindset. The way you talk to yourself matters. It determines whether you approach life with confidence or hesitation, whether you embrace opportunities or let them pass by. Your inner dialogue is not just a background voice. It is a powerful force that shapes your reality. When you master it, you unlock the ability to create a life filled with purpose, success, and happiness. Negative self-talk is one of the most powerful forces that can limit personal growth, success, and happiness. It is the voice in your head that constantly criticizes, doubts, and undermines your abilities. It tells you that you are not good enough, that you will fail, or that you do not deserve success. Over time, these thoughts shape your beliefs and influence the choices you make, often preventing you from reaching your full potential. Many people do not even realize how much their inner dialogue holds them back because they have become so accustomed to the negative script running in their minds. However, the effects of negative self-talk are profound, affecting mental health, self-esteem, motivation, and overall well-being. When someone constantly engages in self-criticism, they develop a fixed mindset rather than a growth mindset. A fixed mindset leads to the belief that abilities and intelligence are static, meaning that if you are not naturally good at something, you never will be. This discourages people from taking risks or trying new things because they assume failure is inevitable. On the other hand, a growth mindset embraces challenges as opportunities to learn and improve. Negative self-talk reinforces the fixed mindset by telling you that your efforts are pointless, making you less likely to push yourself beyond your comfort zone. One of the biggest dangers of negative self-talk is that it can create a self-fulfilling prophecy. When you tell yourself repeatedly that you are not capable, you begin to act in ways that align with this belief. You may avoid challenges, procrastinate on important tasks, or give up too easily when faced with obstacles. As a result, you reinforce your own doubts by failing to take the necessary actions to succeed. This cycle continues, making it even harder to break free from the pattern of self-sabotage. Negative self-talk is also a major contributor to stress and anxiety. When your mind is constantly filled with thoughts of failure, rejection, and inadequacy, it creates a heightened sense of fear and worry. This can lead to feelings of overwhelm, making it difficult to focus or make decisions. Over time, chronic negative thinking can contribute to depression and low self-worth, as it erodes confidence and makes life feel like a series of insurmountable challenges. Another way negative self-talk limits growth is by distorting reality. It makes people focus more on their weaknesses than their strengths, exaggerating failures while minimizing successes. Even when a person accomplishes something, their inner critic might dismiss it as luck or convince them that they still are not good enough. This prevents them from recognizing their progress, leading to a constant sense of dissatisfaction and frustration. It also affects relationships because someone who is overly critical of themselves may struggle to accept praise, set boundaries, or assert their worth in social and professional settings. To break free from the limitations of negative self-talk, it is essential to challenge and reframe these thoughts. The first step is awareness, paying attention to the words you say to yourself and questioning their accuracy. Often, negative thoughts are exaggerated or based on past experiences that no longer define who you are. Replacing negative statements with positive and constructive ones can help shift your perspective. For example, instead of saying, "I always fail," you can say, "I learn from every experience and improve over time." Instead of "I am not good enough," say, "I am constantly growing and developing new skills." It is also helpful to practice self-compassion. Many people hold themselves to unrealistic standards and judge themselves harshly for every mistake. However, no one is perfect and failure is a natural part of life. Speaking to yourself with kindness, just as you would to a friend, can make a significant difference in how you approach challenges. Encouraging yourself rather than tearing yourself down builds resilience, motivation, and the confidence to keep moving forward. Ultimately, negative self-talk is one of the biggest obstacles to personal growth, but it is also something that can be changed by becoming aware of limiting beliefs, challenging negative thoughts, and replacing them with empowering ones. You can break free from the mental barriers holding you back. When you shift your inner dialogue, you open yourself up to greater possibilities, increased confidence, and a more fulfilling life. Becoming aware of your inner dialogue is the first step to changing it. Many people go through life without realizing how much their thoughts influence their emotions, decisions, and overall well-being. The way you speak to yourself, whether with encouragement or criticism, directly affects your confidence, motivation, and ability to handle challenges. The problem is that negative self-talk often operates on autopilot, shaping beliefs and behaviors without conscious recognition. Until you become aware of these patterns, you cannot change them. Awareness is the foundation for transformation, and it allows you to take control of your mindset rather than being controlled by it. Most negative self-talk originates from past experiences, societal expectations, or deep-seated fears. Over time, these thoughts become ingrained, forming a mental script that plays repeatedly in the background. Without awareness, this script can dictate how you see yourself and your potential. For example, if you grew up hearing messages that you are not smart enough or talented enough, you might carry these beliefs into adulthood, limiting what you believe you can achieve. However, once you start paying attention to your inner dialogue, you can challenge these outdated beliefs and replace them with empowering ones. One effective way to increase awareness of your self-talk is through mindfulness. Mindfulness involves being present and observing your thoughts without judgment. By practicing mindfulness, you can notice patterns in your thinking and recognize when negative self-talk arises. Instead of automatically believing every thought you have, you learn to step back and assess whether those thoughts are true or helpful. This simple shift in awareness allows you to disrupt harmful patterns and choose more positive and constructive thoughts. Journaling is another powerful tool for increasing self-awareness. Writing down your thoughts and emotions helps bring subconscious beliefs to the surface, making them easier to identify and address. When you see your thoughts on paper, you may realize how often you engage in self-criticism or self-doubt. By tracking these patterns, you can start to challenge them and replace them with more supportive beliefs. Writing affirmations or positive counterstatements next to negative thoughts can help rewire your thinking over time. Self-awareness also requires paying attention to the language you use in everyday situations. The words you choose reflect your mindset, and small changes in phrasing can make a significant difference in how you feel. For example, instead of saying, "I can't do this," try saying, "I haven't figured it out yet, but I'm working on it." Instead of saying, "I'm terrible at public speaking," say, "I am improving my public speaking skills with practice." These subtle shifts in language reinforce a growth mindset and encourage progress rather than limitation. Another way to become more aware of your self-talk is by noticing how it makes you feel. Thoughts generate emotions, and emotions influence behavior. If you often feel discouraged, anxious, or unmotivated, it may be a sign that your inner dialogue is working against you rather than for you. By paying attention to your emotional responses, you can trace them back to the thoughts that triggered them. Once you identify these thoughts, you can question their validity and replace them with more empowering alternatives. It is also helpful to seek feedback from others. Sometimes we are so accustomed to our inner dialogue that we do not realize how self-critical or negative we have become. Talking to a trusted friend, mentor, or therapist can provide valuable insights and help you recognize thought patterns that may be limiting your growth. External perspectives can offer encouragement and support, making it easier to shift toward a more positive and empowering mindset. Building awareness of your inner dialogue is an ongoing process, but it is one of the most important steps you can take toward personal growth and success. Once you become conscious of your thoughts, you gain the power to change them. You are no longer a passive recipient of negative self-talk. Instead, you become an active participant in shaping your mindset. This shift in awareness allows you to break free from limiting beliefs, build self-confidence, and create a more positive and fulfilling life. When you take control of your inner dialogue, you take control of your future. Reframing negative thoughts is one of the most powerful ways to shift your mindset and create a more positive, productive, and fulfilling life. The way you interpret situations, challenges, and setbacks determines how you feel and respond. When you constantly engage in negative self-talk, you reinforce limiting beliefs that hold you back. However, by consciously reframing these thoughts, you can empower yourself to see opportunities instead of obstacles and solutions instead of problems. The first step in reframing negative thoughts is recognizing that not all thoughts are facts. Just because you think something does not mean it is true. The brain tends to focus on the negative due to a natural bias for survival, but in modern life, this often leads to excessive self-criticism and fear. For example, if you make a mistake at work and think, "I'm terrible at my job," this is not necessarily true. Instead of accepting this thought, challenge it by asking yourself, is this fact or just my perception? More often than not, negative thoughts are exaggerated or distorted. Another way to reframe negativity is by shifting your perspective. Imagine you are giving advice to a friend in the same situation. Would you tell them they are a failure, or would you encourage them to keep going? Often we are much harder on ourselves than we are on others. By stepping outside of our thoughts and viewing them objectively, we can replace harsh self-judgment with constructive and supportive thinking. Instead of saying, "I'll never be successful," reframe it as, "Success takes time and effort, and I am making progress." Words have incredible power over emotions and actions. Even small changes in language can make a big difference in how you feel. Instead of saying, "I have to do this," say, "I get to do this." This simple shift transforms a burden into an opportunity. Instead of saying, "This is too hard," say, "This is challenging, but I am capable of figuring it out." When you choose words that empower rather than discourage, you create a mindset that supports growth rather than resistance. Another effective technique is turning failures into learning experiences. Everyone faces setbacks, but the way you interpret them determines whether you grow from them or feel defeated. Instead of seeing failure as proof that you are not good enough, reframe it as valuable feedback. For example, if you did not perform well in a presentation, rather than thinking, "I'm a terrible speaker," say, "I learned what I need to improve, and I'll do better next time." By viewing mistakes as stepping stones rather than roadblocks, you build resilience and confidence. Gratitude is also a powerful tool in reframing negativity. When faced with a difficult situation, focusing on what you can appreciate about it can change your perspective. If you are struggling with a demanding project, instead of thinking, "This is overwhelming," shift your focus to, "I'm grateful for the opportunity to learn and grow." Practicing gratitude regularly helps train the mind to find the positive aspects of any situation, making it easier to maintain a constructive and optimistic mindset. Another useful technique is visualization. Instead of focusing on what could go wrong, imagine the best possible outcome. If you are nervous about an upcoming challenge, picture yourself handling it with confidence and success. The brain does not differentiate between real and imagined experiences, so visualizing positive scenarios reinforces a mindset of capability and success. Over time, this practice helps you naturally respond to challenges with confidence rather than fear. Developing the habit of reframing negative thoughts takes practice, but it is a skill that can be strengthened over time. Every time you catch yourself thinking in a way that limits you, pause and ask yourself, "How can I see this differently?" By consistently challenging and replacing negative thoughts, you create a new mental habit of empowerment and resilience. Ultimately, the way you think shapes your reality. By reframing negative thoughts into empowering ones, you open yourself up to new possibilities, increase confidence, and greater success. You are not your thoughts. You are the one who chooses which thoughts to believe and act upon. When you master the art of reframing, you take control of your mindset and, in turn, your future. Self-compassion is a critical factor in building mental resilience and achieving personal growth. The way you treat yourself during difficult times determines how well you handle setbacks, challenges, and failures. Many people believe that being hard on themselves will make them stronger, but in reality, excessive self-criticism weakens motivation, increases stress, and lowers self-esteem. In contrast, speaking to yourself with kindness and encouragement allows you to navigate life's obstacles more effectively and emerge stronger from adversity. At its core, self-compassion means treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would offer a close friend. If a friend were struggling or made a mistake, you would likely offer them words of encouragement rather than harsh criticism. However, many people do not extend that same kindness to themselves. Instead, they engage in self-judgment, replaying their failures in their minds and reinforcing the belief that they are not good enough. This negative inner dialogue makes it harder to move forward and often leads to feelings of shame and helplessness. One of the key aspects of self-compassion is recognizing that mistakes and failures are part of being human. No one is perfect, and everyone experiences setbacks. Instead of seeing failure as a reflection of your worth, it is more helpful to view it as a learning opportunity. When you make a mistake, instead of thinking, "I'm such a failure," reframe your self-talk to say, "I made a mistake, but I can learn from this and do better next time." This shift in perspective allows you to grow from challenges rather than being paralyzed by them. Practicing self-compassion also involves being mindful of your emotions rather than suppressing or ignoring them. Many people try to push away negative feelings, thinking that acknowledging them makes them weak. However, denying emotions only amplifies stress and anxiety. Instead, allowing yourself to feel disappointment, frustration, or sadness without judgment creates space for healing and resilience. Mindfulness techniques such as deep breathing, meditation, or journaling can help you process emotions in a healthy way rather than letting them consume you. Another way to strengthen self-compassion is by changing the language you use when speaking to yourself. Instead of using harsh, judgmental words, choose words that are gentle and supportive. For example, instead of saying, "I'm so stupid for making that mistake," say, "I made an error, but I'm learning and growing." Instead of saying, "I'll never succeed," say, "I am taking steps every day to improve and reach my goals." The words you use shape your self-perception, so choosing compassionate language helps build confidence and resilience. Self-compassion also plays a significant role in overcoming fear and self-doubt. When you constantly criticize yourself, you become afraid to take risks because you associate failure with personal inadequacy. This fear prevents you from stepping outside your comfort zone and limits your potential. However, when you approach challenges with self-compassion, you understand that failure is not the end, but rather a step in the learning process. This mindset gives you the courage to try new things, take risks, and keep moving forward, even when things do not go as planned. Furthermore, self-compassion is essential for maintaining long-term motivation. Many people believe that being hard on themselves will push them to work harder, but research shows that self-compassionate individuals are more resilient and productive in the long run. When you treat yourself with kindness, you create a supportive inner environment that allows you to stay motivated without burning out. Instead of using fear and pressure as motivators, self-compassion enables you to stay committed to your goals with a sense of encouragement and self-belief. Developing self-compassion is not about ignoring mistakes or avoiding responsibility. Rather, it is about acknowledging your imperfections while still treating yourself with respect and kindness. It is about understanding that personal growth is a journey and that setbacks are a natural part of that journey. When you practice self-compassion, you build the resilience needed to overcome obstacles, the confidence to pursue your goals, and the emotional strength to handle life's challenges with grace. Ultimately, self-compassion is a powerful tool that transforms your inner dialogue, strengthens your mindset, and enhances your overall well-being. When you replace self-criticism with self-encouragement, you create an inner foundation of resilience and confidence that allows you to thrive in all areas of life. Consistently practicing positive inner dialogue is essential for long-term personal growth and overall well-being. Changing your inner voice is not a one-time event, but an ongoing process that requires conscious effort and commitment. Just like physical fitness, mental fitness is built through repetition and consistency. The more you practice speaking to yourself with kindness, encouragement, and optimism, the more natural it becomes. Over time, this shift in self-talk leads to increased confidence, better decision-making, and greater emotional resilience. One of the most effective ways to develop a habit of positive self-talk is through daily affirmations. Affirmations are powerful statements that reinforce positive beliefs about yourself and your abilities. Repeating phrases such as, I am capable, I am strong, or I am constantly improving helps rewire your brain to focus on your strengths rather than your weaknesses. Writing these affirmations down, saying them out loud, or placing them where you can see them daily can further reinforce their impact. Another key aspect of maintaining a positive inner dialogue is surrounding yourself with uplifting influences. The people you interact with, the media you consume, and the environments you spend time in all shape your mindset. If you are constantly exposed to negativity, criticism, or discouragement, it becomes more difficult to maintain a positive inner voice. On the other hand, engaging with supportive people, inspiring content, and motivational resources helps keep your self-talk empowering and constructive. It is also important to recognize that setbacks and negative thoughts will still arise from time to time. The goal is not to eliminate negativity entirely, but to develop the ability to reframe and move past it quickly. When negative thoughts emerge, acknowledge them without judgment and then consciously replace them with more productive perspectives. For example, instead of dwelling on a mistake, remind yourself that failure is a stepping stone to success. Instead of feeling overwhelmed by a challenge, focus on the skills and resources you have to overcome it. Practicing gratitude is another powerful way to reinforce positive self-talk. Taking time each day to reflect on what you are grateful for shifts your focus away from what is lacking and towards what is abundant in your life. Gratitude fosters a mindset of appreciation, which naturally reduces self-criticism and increases optimism. By consistently practicing positive inner dialogue, you cultivate a mindset that supports your growth, happiness, and success. Over time, this becomes a natural part of who you are, allowing you to navigate life with confidence, resilience, and a deep sense of self-worth.